On Wednesday, the Hawaii County Council discussed the upcoming Board of Ethics hearing on Mayor Billy Kenoi's admitted misuse of his government purchase card.
We'll have some discussion, and if it appears necessary to go into a closed session, we could move into it at that time.
The county will use one or more attorneys from Maui's Department of the Corporation Counsel to advise the Board of Ethics on the matter due to a potential conflict of interest within the county's Office of the Corporation Counsel. Corporation Counsel Molly Stebbins was on hand for the discussion, which was originally set to go into executive session.
Thank you, Ms. Willie. Maybe Ms. Stebbins?
No, maybe just... to restate what's essentially set forth in the letter. What we're asking is for the council to authorize, I'm not using the word hire, but to use assistance of one or more deputies from the Maui Department of the Corporation Counsel to advise our County Board of Ethics into upcoming petitions in order to avoid any potential conflict of interest with our office serving in that role of advising the Board of Ethics. The Maui Department of the Corporation Counsel would provide a deputy. We wouldn't pay them any fees, but we'd, of course, cover the associated travel costs.
I'm just wondering, what's your take on the broader question? Should the Board of Ethics, our County Board of Ethics, be the body handling this matter? And just as a matter of fairness, first of all, I think the procedure is anyone who tries to apply for a board or commission applies to the mayor's office. The mayor selects, nominates, and sends it over to the county council. Does that create an inherent? I know it's been done. Of course, the Board of Ethics has typically taken on cases involving council members or the mayor, but this is such a highly charged issue. What I'm worried about is the Board of Ethics might be in a no-win situation. If they clear the mayor, then they're going to be open to attack because of all these other things, right? And I certainly don't want them to compensate on the other side to be unfair to our mayor because of that in the back of their mind. So I just want your thoughts. I wanted your thoughts on that.
I appreciate the concerns that you're raising, Councilmember Chung, and I think really the question of whether the board can impartially sit and hear the petition against the mayor is a question that the board members themselves will have to answer. And I don't want to speculate, but I would imagine that at the upcoming hearing on the 13th, that may be a matter that they look at themselves.
That's fine. Thank you.
I'm also concerned with the perception that everything gets pushed off and it's everybody else's jurisdiction and that we're just a spineless, bodies and entities and not willing to just take it like it is and see it like it is, and next thing you know it'll be 18 months from now. So that's I'm getting a lot of calls from all different directions. So I think there's some competing interests. I think ultimately the decision, as you said, must be answered by the that body. So that's really just a comment that I feel, there's a lot of concern from the public, legitimate, but it has competing consequences. My other question is, in terms of this Maui person or whoever would be the special counsel, the word you used here would be to advise. What is that? What do you see as the capacity? Are they going to be completely independent? Or are they coming over here and, chit-chatting with you and Jay and this person, that, and just here for the hearing, and you all are doing the legwork? Or what is the scope of their participation?
They would participate completely independent from our office, and we've taken steps. In this type of situation, we take steps to screen our office from their assistants and their role advising the Board of Ethics. So no, there wouldn't be any contact between the assigned deputy from Maui and anyone in our office, other than our office. The Board of Ethics is administratively attached to our office, so the board secretary is one of our staff persons.
And you think that's okay in terms of having this administrative staff?
Yes, I do.
And I don't know whether that's necessary or not, but and what about if that person wanted to discuss some matter with the director of finance or wanted to consult with others in the administration? Would they be able to do so?
You're referring to the assigned Maui deputy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, maybe if Jay Yoshimoto wants to come up here, I'm not sure if that would be typical of the attorney who's assigned to the board. And I think you're talking about if the board were to proceed with some kind of investigation and being able to have access to members of the administration. I think they certainly would be. I don't know if that's the normal role that the attorney who is assigned to the board would play. But again, a lot of this is perhaps really unprecedented. So,
do you have a comment on that, Jay?
Yes, Councilmember Willie. So your question is whether the assigned deputy from Maui would be able to talk to basically anyone that they want to, right, in our government, or the answer would be yes.
Yeah, without going through you all.
Oh, of course, yes. They're independent, yes.
Okay.
Some council members wondered how the process would play out given certain scenarios.
If we get to the point where one of the members of the Board of Ethics does choose to recuse themselves, then where do we end up?
At that point, I think we have a sort of a problem, because I believe there's only 3 members right now sitting on the board, and 3 is a quorum. So if one recuses himself, you don't
Ms.
have
Stebbins, we might just need to stay on topic for this one. Is that part of the topic, or about
representation? Because
we're just trying to authorize the use of special counsel.
And they would
for the
advise,
ethics.
But they would advise the individuals on the ethics board if they should recuse themselves or not, correct? They would be part of that conversation. I mean, in advising those members, correct?
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Right?
You're correct, Councilmember Peleca.
Okay, so I'm
right.
just kind of, when we get to that point, do we have to hire, or what happened?
Right.
I'm just interested.
Potentially the members could have questions about recusal, and that attorney that's assigned from Maui would be able to advise those members as far as the legalities and obligations involving a conflict.
And then if they do advise our members from the ethics, then what happens?
So that,
Molly,
did you want to handle it? Or?
Well, I don't know that
let's not even
really
think
have
of
a
that
good
yet,
answer other than if without a quorum, the board obviously can't meet or make any decisions. So, the board is entitled to 5 members. Right now, it's 5, right? And right now, there's just 3.
and that's what I'm trying to get at, because thank you very much, because that presents a quandary, and I wanted just us to look to that in consideration for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Peleca.